Have you ever been told you think too much? That you need to just relax? To stop overanalyzing and simply go with the flow? If your mind feels like a browser with 50 tabs open, all playing different videos, and you're somehow aware of every single one. If you've ever laid awake at night, replaying a conversation from 3 years ago, or spent an hour crafting a two-line text message, or mentally simulated every possible outcome of a simple Tuesday, then please get comfortable. This conversation is for you. For the next hour, we are not going to fix you. We are not going to pathologize you. We are going to do something radical. We are going to understand you. We are going to pull back the curtain on the psychology, the neuroscience, and the evolutionary biology of the deep thinking mind. And by the end, my hope is that you will see this trait not as a curse to be managed, but as a complex, powerful operating system that you've been given, one that the world desperately needs but often fails to recognize. So let's start with the most important point, the foundational truth we will return to again and again. If you are this person, you are not insecure. You are not neurotic. You are not too sensitive in the weak sense of the word. And you are most definitely not broken. You are different. And that difference has a profound purpose. Let's begin with the oldest part of this story. Imagine two of our ancient ancestors on the savannah. One is impulsive, present-focused, living in the moment. The other is the thinker. While the first is enjoying the sunset, the thinker is noticing the unusual silence in the birdsong, the faint, snapped branch on the trail, the direction of the wind. This thinker isn't just worrying. They are engaging in a high-stakes, biological form of data analysis. Research in evolutionary psychology suggests that what we now call anxiety and rumination are deeply tied to a capacity for foresight. In ancient times, the people who survived to pass on their genes weren't just the strongest. They were often the ones who could anticipate the predator in the bushes, the coming winter, the shift in the social dynamic of the tribe. Your brain, in its relentless scanning, is running an ancient program, the Sentinel protocol. You aren't being paranoid. You are being prepared. Your neural circuitry is wired to predict problems before they crystallize, to run simulations so you can develop solutions. While others might walk, somewhat blindly, into a difficult situation, you have already walked through it 10 times in your mind, identified 3 potential pitfalls, and formulated a contingency plan for each. This isn't weakness. This is the cognitive instinct of a protector. You think in loops and spirals because your deepest wiring is designed to shield yourself, your loved ones, your projects from threat. It's a strategy for survival that was literally written into your DNA. But of course, this explains why you look for danger ahead, but it doesn't quite explain the social hauntings, does it? Why you can remember with perfect, painful clarity that slightly off-key comment you made at a party in 2019. For that, we need to dive into the social and emotional engine of your mind. This brings us to the second pillar, empathy. And I don't mean just feeling sorry for someone. I mean a high-definition, almost burdensome form of emotional processing. People who overthink are rarely selfish. In fact, they are often hyper-empathetic. Neuroscience has a term for part of this: predictive processing. Your brain is a prediction machine. It's constantly trying to model the world, and that includes the interior worlds of other people. When you replay a conversation, you are not, contrary to what some may say, obsessed with yourself. You are conducting a forensic empathy scan. You are analyzing the microsecond shift in their expression when you said that thing. You are wondering if your joke landed awkwardly, if your tone was misinterpreted, if you inadvertently caused a ripple of hurt. You are terrified of being the source of pain, of being misunderstood. So you calibrate. You curate your words with the care of a museum archivist handling a priceless artifact. While others can speak with a thoughtless, stream of consciousness ease, you are drafting, editing, and redacting in real time. You carry the emotional weight of every interaction because you care intensely about the outcome, about the connection. This is a beautiful, taxing form of love, but it expends a colossal amount of psychic energy. And this expenditure leads us directly to a trait that is almost universally mistaken for laziness or social aversion. Let's pause here for a second. Does this resonate with you so far? That feeling of being emotionally drained after a day of what looked like nothing to the outside world? If it does, I want you to type "Mind Tribe" in the comments below. Just seeing that phrase from others can be incredibly validating. You are not alone in this experience. And while you're there, if you're finding value in this deep dive, hitting that like button truly helps this message reach more people who need to hear it. It tells the algorithm that this is a space for meaningful conversation. Now, where were we? The exhaustion. This isn't ordinary tiredness. This is the fatigue of deep processing. Psychologist Dr. Elaine Aron's research on the highly sensitive person trait gives us a brilliant framework. For you, the brain is not a filter, it's a sponge. It doesn't automatically sort stimuli into important and ignore. It takes in most of it. The flicker of the fluorescent light, the 5 different overlapping conversations in a cafe, the subtle tightening around a colleague's eyes, the 17 possible interpretations of a punctuation mark in a text. Your brain is processing gigabytes of sensory and emotional data that the average brain simply filters out as background noise. You weren't doing nothing. That day you're exhausted. You were conducting a full-scale, real-time analysis of the human and environmental field around you. You overthink because you are taking in more of the raw, unfiltered world than most neurological systems are designed to handle. But here is the first major turn in our narrative. This intake, this profound depth of processing, is not just a source of fatigue. It is the very wellspring of creativity. This is where your struggle begins its metamorphosis into a superpower. Let's talk about the fourth pillar, imagination. Overthinking, in one of its purest forms, is simply imagination without a directed project. Studies have consistently shown a strong correlation between traits of high anxiety and high creative potential. Your mind is an engine, a powerful, nonstop scenario generator. It produces narratives, connections, metaphors, and possibilities at a staggering rate. When this engine is not given a specific, external problem to solve, a novel to write, a business strategy to devise, a complex system to design, it does what any powerful engine in neutral will do. It turns on itself. It begins to generate problems. It visualizes worst-case scenarios with the same vivid, detailed circuitry that an artist uses to visualize a painting or a general uses to visualize a campaign. You are not suffering from a mental defect. You are suffering from unused creative potential. Your brain is a thoroughbred racehorse, begging for a track to run on, and when it doesn't have one, it runs frantic, anxious laps in its stable. That midnight spiral about what if everything goes wrong is using the exact same cognitive muscles as the brilliant what if we approach this problem from a completely new angle. The machinery is identical. The application is different. And this deep need for meaningful application connects to our fifth and final pillar, the refusal to settle. People who overthink are often perfectionists in disguise. This isn't about vanity, it's about vision. You analyze every decision, every word, every path, because you have an internal model for how things could be, and you feel a deep, almost moral imperative to bridge the gap between that ideal and reality. You don't just want an outcome, you want the optimal outcome. Research is clear. While this trait is associated with stress and sometimes procrastination, in the long run, it correlates with higher quality work, more ethical decision-making, and more sustainable solutions. You think twice, 3 times, 10 times because your standards are higher. You are an innate quality control system for life itself. So let's synthesize this. What does this all mean for you? Living in a world that often seems to reward snap judgments, superficial confidence, and impulsive action. It means you have a strategist's mind in a culture that frequently celebrates the tactician. It means you are running a more advanced, more energy-intensive operating system in a world designed for simpler software. You see the chessboard 3 moves ahead. You feel the emotional weather in the room before the storm arrives. You imagine chains of consequences that are invisible to others. This is not a call to simply celebrate the pain. The exhaustion is real. The paralysis is real. The social friction is real. So the ultimate question becomes, how do we migrate this powerful, sensitive, creative system from a state of self-consumption to a state of empowered contribution? The answer lies in channeling the flow. Your brain is a river of thought. Left to itself, it will flood its own banks. Your job is not to dam the river, but to build canals and turbines, to direct that powerful flow towards something external. Give your Sentinel intelligence a real problem to guard, not a phantom, but a project you care about. Give your deep empathy a cause to nurture. Volunteer, mentor, Create art that heals. Give your hyperprocessing brain raw material it was meant for. Learn a complex language, study a deep philosophical system, master an intricate craft. Give your imagination a target. Write the story, design the product, plan the visionary project, and give your perfectionism a worthy canvas. Apply those high standards not to your fleeting social performance, but to the quality of your work, the depth of your relationships, the integrity of your character. You are not here to think less. You are here to think differently and to apply that thinking to the tangible world. Your mind isn't a trap. It's a toolkit for building things that are resilient, beautiful, and profound. If you've made it this far, you are clearly someone who seeks depth. You are part of a tribe of thinkers, feelers, and strategists. So I have a request for you. If this vision of your mind as a powerful, misunderstood system resonates, type operating system in the comments below. Let's find each other. Let's build a community where this kind of depth is not just accepted, but valued. And if you want to continue this journey with us, if you want videos on exactly how to channel this overthinking mind into creativity, how to set boundaries for your empathy, how to communicate your deep processed thoughts clearly, then you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. This channel is dedicated to translating the complexity of the human psyche into actionable insight. We have so much more to explore together. Finally, if this video shifted your perspective even a little, please share it. Share it with the person in your life who needs to hear this. Share it because the quiet overthinker in your office, in your family, in your friend group, might be hiding a world of depth that the world needs to see. Your share might be the message that helps them reframe their entire existence. Thank you for spending this hour in deep thought. Remember, you are not broken. You are advanced. And the world needs the unique, deeply processed contributions that only you can make. Now, let's get to work building those canals. I'll see you in the comments.